I'm Jamie Whyte. I'm an illustrator and artist, sometime cartographer. I'm based in Devon, mid-Devon. We've got a cool little bookshop in town, which is really near where I live. Completely chaotic, just books everywhere, but he's always got the piles of old maps. And I just choose them based on colour and the variety within them. I bought one of these old maps just because I liked the cover of it. They got some really cool typography, and the covers of the maps are really cool. I just got it because of that. And when I got it home, I looked at it. It was a map of Kent, like the southern eastern bit, and it just really immediately could see that there was like Mongolian prince hiding in it. Like the whole shape of it looked like a guy with a hood, holding like a scepter, holding an orb. Sorry. If you look at an old map, it's just a complex surface covered in roads and rivers and hills and coastlines, and then you can the human mind tries to find patterns. So it's a bit like looking at clouds, but it's more like you're in the clouds looking down at the map. And maps weren't a thing that I was enormously interested in, but as I've gone on, I've started to appreciate them for the aesthetic quality of them. I think I find them on a fairly basic aesthetic level. I find them really pleasing because they're just the complexity of the surface. There's so much to look at. Your gaze wanders across it, and obviously they kind of inflame the imagination, don't they? Because you can imagine the place, that there's this kind of symbolic representation of the place that's underneath that actually exists. You can express the era and the place just by using different typography and different textures. There's a couple commissions I've had where I've had to invent places or do places that don't exist. Basically, my favourite map commission I've had was to do maps for an atlas of Tolkien, because everyone's very familiar with the Tolkien maps, but I wanted to make them look not exactly the same, but I wanted them to be recognisable still. So I was taking some of the original cartography that he made, and just trying to make it look almost like satellite imagery, trying to make it look really realistic, but like with heightened rich colours, and so the forest looks like you were looking at a forest from above. But what I did was tilted the world like this, so you could then see the sky as well, and the sky would be different depending on which era in the world we were in. In the Silmarillion, there's the story of Numenor and how the Numenorians became too proud, and eventually it was destroyed by the Valar. In that map, I've got Numenor off in the sea and just a really dark, scary sky coming up over it. So you're kind of looking at the moment just before it gets destroyed, but it's also a map showing you where the different towns are, and then different ports and rivers and stuff, and then Middle Earth over here. Some maps do tell a story because they'll give you a route that isn't A to B. You know how the early maps, I've not actually been commissioned to do that, but some of the early maps were literally just long. They weren't like as we think of a map that's kind of a plan of the physical shape of the place. Like they were just what you'd experience if you travelled from here to here, and that was the map. I haven't done any that are quite that are narrative like that, but I don't know, they can tell a story. Yeah, they can tell a story. One book that I did a map for was about Jack the Ripper, and my natural instincts was, that was fun because I love the Victorian typography and the whole Victorian design, all the, make it look really gothic and Victorian, but I made it really dark. It was almost completely black. The locations where the murders happened, I kind of picked them out with like really slashed crosses, and like I just made it look violent. I really liked it, but they were like, this is too dark, we can't use this. I had to really lighten it up and tone it down. One commission that I had was for a book about China, history of China. It's called All Under Heaven. I've got a real admiration for Chinese and Japanese design, but she really wanted it to look ethereal, which is kind of hard in a map where you're nailing down places. This is a book about an Afghan refugee, Gulwali Pasale, and how he, as a child, travelled from Afghanistan to Britain. So this is one of the ones that literally tells the story. We have the different modes of transport. He's gone by foot to Pakistan and around. It's just a ridiculously circuitous route, and the reason I included this little inset of the globe is just to show you how preposterous this journey is. Like, you can see it from space, it's enormous. Basically, it was compared by a reviewer to be, someone said it was a bit Tolkien-esque, this one, which is exactly what I was going for, because it was an epic journey that he made. This is Ray Winston's autobiography, and it's this kind of mythical. I just basically made it look very grimy and grungy, but this is the part of London that he grew up in. Just with little illustrations, the places he boxed, the Hammers logo. What cows dream of in Devon, in Exeter. The nice thing about this is when you're done, you can just fold them up. It's actually not that easy to fold up.